Hello. Well, I've been wibbling back and forth about whether I should actually put this out there. But I decided that I'm going to. I normally reserve my YouTube channel for stupidity and playing video games and things like that. Nobody really watches. Sometimes somebody looks at it when I'm doing it because I live stream it because it's kind of funny. I try to be funny. I'm not very funny. I'm funny to me. Sometimes I say something that might actually be funny to someone else. But that's all points aside. I normally leave the channel to be just stupidity now. It used to be done for a few other things, and for when I was writing, I used it for book trailers and to, try to push books. But now I'm just worried. And I decided I'm going to share this. I try not to be overly controversial, at least not on YouTube. Sometimes I am on Facebook or Twitter, and I talk back and forth with people. I have reasonably liberal views, to be honest with you. I mean, though on some things I'm not completely stuck or completely liberal, but I do lean very progressive and liberal. But I don't want anyone's guns, and I want you to understand this, and I don't want anyone to have their guns taken away. This is not my belief. We have a Second Amendment. It's interpreted the way it's interpreted. But I do think we can tighten things up. And I do think we need reasonable gun restrictions. I have a 10-year-old son who has to go through lockdown drills. Today is May 18th, 2018, and there was another school shooting today in Texas. My heart goes out to these people. But when are we going to stop? When are we going to say no more? When are we going to tell the politicians who refuse to make laws that are reasonable, such as total universal background checks that go across states, interstate trafficking laws so that I can't go to the state next door that has looser gun laws, buy a gun, bring it home, and use it against someone, which is the big argument that is made a lot of times is you'll have the NRA people say, well, what about Chicago? There are shootings there every day, and they got really tough gun laws because they go to another state and get the damn gun where the laws aren't so strict. We need the laws to be more universal and more interstate. No loopholes, no stupidity, no easy to get the guns. The other thing that we need to do is I really think we need to license all weapons so that when one is used in a crime, we can trace it back to its owner. If you are dumb enough to own a gun and not keep it properly locked away from your children who then get it and use it in a school shooting, you should be prosecuted as well. And maybe people will be more careful with their guns, with trigger locks and safety measures, instead of us having to worry about someone getting a hold of a gun and killing children. Children should not have to be worried about dying in school. They should be worrying about their first crush. They should be worrying about if they're going to do well on their test or what college they're going to go to, not who the fuck is going to kill them. They should not have to go through this shock and trauma. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're an independent. I don't care if you're a member of the NRA who happens to support good gun laws, because there are those out there. A lot of gun owners support stricter gun laws. To the assholes who think that everyone should own a fucking Sherman tank because the government's coming for you, stop it! Just stop it! If the government's coming for you, they're coming with the full weight of the army, you're screwed anyway. They'll get you with a cruise missile. You're not even gonna survive. Don't think that your little gun is gonna save you. If you want a gun for home protection or for hunting, I'm all for it. You don't need a high magazine semi-automatic weapon or an automatic weapon. If you do, you're a bad shot. Go to the range. If you want to wield heavy artillery, join the military. But don't have it at home where someone's going to grab it and go use it to shoot up a school. Make sure that you're in good mental health before you own a weapon. Because maybe you'll turn it on yourself. A lot of gun violence is suicide, but at least then you're not hurting other people. But a lot of these may be attempted suicide by cop. They just happen to be taking these people alive. This isn't a way to make a name for yourself by shooting up a school. This is not a way to be famous and make yourself all known. Because you want to know what? When all's said and done, I could give a shit about you or what you've done. I care about the people that you hurt. But stop. Support reasonable gun laws. And if the politicians won't, vote them out. This year is a midterm year. 2020 is another year that's going to be a big election year. Vote them out. If they're supporting loose gun laws, vote them out. If they're supporting stricter gun laws to keep them from getting in the wrong hands, vote them in. Again, I'm not saying take your guns away. If you're a lawful gun owner, you don't care. You'll go through the extra steps. You'll wait. You'll wait for a background check to come back. If it takes 2 weeks because they're backlogged, that's how long you wait for the damn gun. None of this, you get the gun because it hasn't come back yet. Bullshit. Or you get it at a gun show so they don't do the background check. Bullshit. It has to stop. Children are dying. I'm speaking now as a father. I don't want my child to have to worry about this. I don't want to have to worry about if my child's going to school today, is he going to come home in a body bag? This isn't right. Again, I'm not saying take all the guns away. And yes, sometimes some nut is going to strike somewhere. But let's not make it easy. Because that's what we're doing. We're making it easy for them to do it. And then we're trying to punish the victims over it. How about we stop? How about we actually do something right? How about we, as the grown people of the world, start helping? We didn't listen to the kids from Douglas. We didn't listen with the March for Our Lives, apparently, because they're still happening. This shit's still happening. And yes, some states have made some wonderful moves, and I praise them for it. But not all have. We need to all stand up. We need the federal government to stand up and stop giving in to the lobbyists who are trying to keep everything loosey-goosey because they want everyone to own a gun so that they can sell more guns, so that they can make more money. We got to stop these people who are saying, they're coming to take our guns. You better buy more guns. They're coming to take our guns. Because that's a ploy to sell more guns. Stop it. And stop giving in to the stupidity and the insanity. We need to stand up as a nation and say, no more. The kids have it right. Those heroes from Stoneham Douglas have it right. The guy who stopped the Waffle House shooter, he had it right too. He was an unarmed man who stopped a man with a gun. You don't have to be a man with a gun to stop the bad guy with a gun. And that's what they want to push because they think everyone should have a gun. It should be the Wild West. We should just walk outside and shoot each other. No! If you want a gun, it is your right. You should be able to. But if there are hoops and whistles to go through, you're willing to go through it if you actually want to own it. And you're willing to follow the law. If you're not a law-abiding gun owner, let's not make it easier for you to get it. And let's have really strict laws against people who get them illegally. Because, yes, criminals will get them illegally. But let's try to track that down and really crack down on those people. Let's put them in a hole and leave them there forever. That's my point. We treat the illegal immigrants these days, the undocumented immigrants, I said that wrong. But I'm angry, so forgive me. But the undocumented immigrants, we treat them worse than we treat people who are violent criminals just because they happen to come from this country. And just on a note, to Oliver North, who said that the Parkland kids were terrorists, shut the fuck up! You sold arms to enemies and help cover everything up. Who the fuck are you? Shut up. Jesus Christ. It's time we stand with our children. It's time we stand for reasonable restrictions. It's time we stand. Get out and vote for our children this year and in 2020 and as it goes. If your politicians, Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't care. If they support not having stricter gun laws, get rid of them. Vote them out. No more. We need to protect our children. I don't care what your views are on any other subject. I'm only talking about one right now. We need to protect our children. We can't let them be spun out the other way. Let them put any spin they want on it because they keep doing it. These poor kids got attacked nonstop by the NRA, by people who think that they're actors, by this, that, and stupidity. What are you protecting? What are you covering up? That you don't want to protect the lives of our children. Those of you who are fighting to register people to vote, those children who survived from Parkland and fought, and those from this one who will fight. I hope that we're getting down to the last of you who will have to fight. We need to be reasonable. We need to get this settled. We need to stand together on something. Again, I don't care if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're an independent. I care that you care about our children. I know I do. I care that they have to worry. I care that they have to bury their friends. This needs to stop. We need to stand up together. We need to stand strong. And we need to say no more.